U.S. President Donald Trump and NATO chief Mark Rutte have announced a deal for the U.S. to send Ukraine weapons through NATO. They spoke during a visit Rutte made to the White House on Monday.
We've made a deal today where we are going to be sending them weapons and they're going to be paying for them. The United States will not be having any payment made. We're not buying it, but we will manufacture it and they're going to be paying for it.
Rutte said Europeans will buy weapons from the U.S. to equip Ukraine, arguing it should cause Russian President Vladimir Putin to reconsider peace negotiations. Germany, Norway, and other European partners have said they're prepared to help pay for some of the weapon systems, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said. Trump, meanwhile, threatened to punish Russia with tariffs if a peace deal isn't reached soon.
A deal 2 months ago, but it doesn't seem to get there. So based on that, we're going to be doing secondary tariffs if we don't have a deal in 50 days. It's very simple. And they'll be at 100%. And that's the way it is. It can be handling.
Rutte will be in Washington on Monday and Tuesday for talks with Trump, U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio, U.S. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth, and members of Congress.
The EU's top diplomat Kaja Kallas is set to offer a list of 10 possibilities for the EU to respond to Israel's actions in Gaza during a meeting of the Foreign Affairs Council in Brussels. Israel's foreign minister doesn't believe they will be implemented.
Sure, not any of them will be adopted by the EU member states.
Yes, a question, please, for Reuters.
No justification whatsoever. And until now, they were not adopted, and I believe they will not adopt it also tomorrow.
Diplomats told Euronews that member states are unlikely to choose to back any of the options for action for a number of reasons. First, some countries insist the EU should wait to see the result of an agreement attempting to improve the flow of aid to Gaza. The EU announced on Thursday that it had negotiated a significant improvement of humanitarian aid access into Gaza, including an increase of food trucks and an agreement to protect the lives of aid workers.
What's happening on the ground there, mainly with regard to the GHF initiative, is that Hamas is trying to stop people from get the aid directly because they want to be the mediators of the humanitarian aid. First of all, it is crucial that this aid will be given to the people. And secondly, it's also important to disconnect Hamas from the aid. And this is part of the things that were raised in our dialogue with the EU to develop methods that it will reach the people and not Hamas.
The Gaza Strip is experiencing further deterioration in its already near-collapsed health system. 37% of critical medicine and 59% of medical supplies have been depleted as a result of the crippling blockade Israel imposed on the enclave. This has driven many Palestinians to black and unregulated markets.
هي يعني ظاهرة سيئة أثرت كتير على مبيعات الأدوية في الصيدليات، توفر الأصناف، على استعمال الأدوية حتى مع الأشخاص. مثلا المريض بروح باخد أدوية من برا ما بعرف استخدامها ولا بعرف طريقتها بس إنه بدي يشتري دواء.
The health ministry has urged against purchasing medicine from non-authorized entities, warning it poses a grave risk on their lives.
بعض الزبائن بيكونوا حصلوا على الدواء من الأماكن هذه اللي غير متخصصين فيها، بيكون الدواء خاطئ أحيانا أو منتهي تاريخ صلاحيته أو طريقة التخزين سيئة، وأحيانا بيصيروا ينصحوهم عن نصائح غير طبية.
These drugs are often stored and sold under unsanitary conditions and have in the past caused medical emergencies.
At least 4 people believed to be foreign nationals have died after a plane crashed shortly after takeoff from London Southend Airport on Sunday. The aircraft, a turboprop equipped with medical systems for patient transport, was due to land to the Netherlands after arriving from Athens. Moments after takeoff, the plane went down near the runway. Social media images captured the aftermath, with flames and thick black smoke billowing from the crash site. London Southend is a small regional airport located about 72 kilometres east of the UK capital. All flights in and out have been cancelled until further notice. Investigators are now working to determine what caused the fatal crash. The identities of the victims have not yet been released.
France is celebrating its biggest holiday, Bastille Day, with parties and festivals around the country. The holiday marks the 1789 storming of the Bastille prison, a pivotal moment in the French Revolution. 7,000 participants, including troops and armored vehicles, marched along the Champs-Élysées in Paris in an annual military parade, followed by fighter jet flyovers and a drone light show at the Eiffel Tower. French President Emmanuel Macron opened the spectacle with a ceremony relighting the eternal flame beneath the Arc de Triomphe. This year, Indonesia is the guest of honor, with its troops joining the parade and deals for French military equipment expected. This year's celebration takes place on the backdrop of heightened geopolitical uncertainty. On the eve of the holiday, Macron announced 6.5 billion euros in extra French military spending in the next 2 years because of new threats ranging from Russia to terrorism and online attacks.
Just 2 kilometres from the main town of Sikinos, in the heart of the Cyclades, sits one of the island's most iconic spots, a cliffside winery with spectacular views of the surrounding islands. Perched 400 metres above sea level on Sikinos' northwest side, it draws both locals and visitors who come to sip wine and watch one of the most stunning sunsets in the Aegean. What started as an effort to revive ancient local grape varieties has blossomed into a small but effective vineyard.
Η Σίκινος στην αρχαιότητα λεγόταν Ινόη. Από εδώ έπαιρνε ο Όμηρος το κρασί, τον οποίο πήγαινε στην Αθήνα. Η μεταφορά του γινόταν με τουλούμια. Δεν είχαν ανακαλύψει ούτε καν τα πιθάρια τότε. Η Σίκινος έβγαζε ένα φοβερό κρασί λόγω της ανοβρίας, ότι εδώ είναι άνυδρα τα πάντα. Και ξεκίναγε από αυτή την περιοχή ο αμπελώνας μέχρι τη χώρα, στη βόρεια πλευρά. Αυτό κράτησε μέχρι το 60-70. Οι άνθρωποι ζούσαν από αυτό. Πουλάγανε τα σταφύλια τους, ερχόντανε καΐκια από τα δίπλα νησιά, Φολέγα, το Σαντορίνι, Ήο, Ανάφη, από παντού και πέρανε σταφύλια για ενοποίηση. Το 60 με 70 έγινε μεγάλη μετανάστευση, οι Σικινιώτες πήγανε σε όλα τα μέρη του κόσμου, από Αμερική, Καναδά, Αυστραλία και παντού, και έτσι καταλήψανε τον αμπελώνα και εγώ τον αναβιώνω με ποικιλίες που έχω βρει εδώ. Δεν χρειάζεται να φέρω κάτι. Μακάρι να μπορούσα να αναβιώσω όλες τις ποικιλίες που είχε Σίκινος, γιατί δεν έχει μόνο 5 ποικιλίες που έχω εγώ, έχει 15.
The winery officially opened in 2008, but the vision for the vineyard began years earlier, when founder Yorgos Manalis took a life-changing trip to Syros with his wife, Maria.
Υπό μία προϋπόθεση μπορεί να ζήσει κάποιος από το κρασί, δουλεύοντας. Κρασί και καφετέρια δεν πάνε μαζί, ούτε καφενείο. Το αμπέλι είναι πάρα πολύ απαιτητικό, θέλει συνέχεια περιποίηση, να είσαι μέσα, να το προσέχεις, να κοιτάς. Δηλαδή φαντάσου ότι εγώ 5 ώρα το πρωί παίρνω μια κούπα καφέ και κάνω μια βόλτα μες στον αμπελώνα για να δω τα αμπέλια, γιατί είναι ζωντανοί οργανισμοί, άρα μπορεί κάποιος να αρρωστήσει, να έχει κάποιο πρόβλημα. Άρα πρέπει εγώ να κάνω τα κατάλληλα πράγματα που πρέπει να κάνω, δηλαδή να του ρίξω λίγο τιάφι για να πιάσω αυτή την αρρώστια που έχει το ίδιο οτιδήποτε. Άρα θέλει πάρα πολύ περιποίηση.
Viticulture on a remote island isn't easy. Labour is scarce and few are willing to work on land. But despite the challenges, the winery thrives, powered entirely by renewable energy for the past 7 years, making it 100% eco-friendly. In an interview with Euronews, Panama's Foreign Minister Javier Martinez Acha has defended its security agreement with the United States, insisting that it has not given up any national sovereignty. This statement comes in response to past threats by US President Donald Trump who suggested the US might retake control of the Panama Canal.
Nosotros no tenemos presencia de tropas de ninguna nacionalidad. Nosotros hemos firmado un acuerdo de entendimiento como lo tenemos firmado con otros países de Latinoamérica para hacer ejercicios conjuntos con el propósito de prepararnos para amenazas asimétricas, para prepararnos en caso de que tengamos que actuar conjuntamente para contener el crimen organizado, el narcotráfico, etc. Pero nada de permanencia en nuestro territorio de fuerzas extranjeras de forma permanente.
In the wake of those threats, Panama and the United States signed a memorandum of understanding, which has since allowed the US to conduct a series of military exercises in the region. One of the most contentious issues in recent years has been Panama's inclusion on the EU list of non-cooperative jurisdictions in tax matters. The foreign minister firmly denies that Panama is a tax haven.
Somos un país responsable, somos un país comprometido con la transparencia y con la cooperación fiscal. Que tenemos todavía algunas tareas por hacer, las haremos y estamos considerando hacer reformas en la forma como se transmite la cooperación en materia fiscal, porque cooperamos, hay observaciones técnicas que mejorar y lo otro es sobre un asunto de rentas extranjeras que para nosotros son exentas, pero tenemos que hacer unas reformas desde el punto de vista fiscal.
For Europe, Panama is not only strategically important from an economic standpoint, but also plays a crucial role in preventing the circumvention of sanctions by countries such as Russia.